まずこの香り、お分かりでしょう。さあどうぞ。
I'm sorry once again for scaring you boils and ghouls, but I just could not help myself. As always, thank you for tuning in and joining us on another trip into the minds of madness. I am your host, Paul McWhirter, and sitting beside me is my good friend, Christopher Dicker. How are you, sir?
I'm very well, my friend. I'm excited to be here as always.
I am glad to hear it. It's always a pleasure to be back here together, and of course today is no exception. Would you do the honors of telling the listeners what film we'll be talking about today?
I was hoping you would ask me that. We have all seen the 1933 classic giant monster picture King Kong. Some of us may have also seen the not quite as classic sequel, Son of Kong, though some of us might be more familiar with the recent Mighty Joe Young. But the reign of giant apes is over. From the depths of the Arctic, laying waste to all that dare cross its path, the ferocious, the terrifying, the beast from 20,000 fathoms.
Wow, just wow. What can I say? This doesn't happen often, but I'm speechless. I've never seen a picture as awe-inspiring as this one.
I absolutely agree. This picture blew me away. Where do we begin?
Well, how about we start with something easy? Who are the players in this film?
Oh, I mean no offense when saying this, but I could not care less. This is not a comment on the performance of the actors. They did a spectacular job, but in my eyes, there are only two stars on show here. The overwhelmingly realistic and monstrous Redosaurus, and the mad scientist who brought life to the beast, Ray Harryhausen.
I've got to say, if we were talking about any other film, I'm sure we'd butt heads, but I completely agree with you. I cannot think of any other film with effects such as these. With the gifted hands of Harryhausen at the helm, for a moment there I generally thought the beast was real. Well done, sir.
Well done indeed. He did have me scratching my head and questioning my sense of reality from time to time. A sign of a good filmmaker if I've ever seen one.
You're not wrong there. Gosh, I hate to say it, but I think the stellar work on display here has ruined monster flicks for me. Nothing can compare to this. When is his next epic coming?
I know how you feel. Well, I don't have anything concrete at the moment, and my sources don't know when the film will emerge, but they say it will focus on a rampaging, giant octopus.
A giant octopus? What a blast! Whew, I think I'm getting a little too excited.
Haha, you look like you're about to flip your wig. How about you enjoy a nice clean smoke whilst we listen to a word from our sponsor, none other than Heart Dart Cigarettes.
Oh shit. Paul. What?
Listen.
To what?
Exactly. The fucking ad isn't playing.
Shit. We're still in the air. Shit. Oh shit. Stop swearing.
Take your advice, mate. Just press the fucking button.
Okay, got it.
What was that?
I don't know. I'll try again.
What the fuck? God, do you hear that? Oh, my head. What's going on?
It's not prospecting.
Where are you? I can't see anything. Oh.
Crazy, doctor, but I don't think this is your patient.
Welcome to another episode of Into the Minds of Madness. I'm your resident scaredy cat, Paul McWhirter. Sitting with me, as always, your resident horror movie aficionado, Mr. Chris Dicker. How are you, dude?
Oh, very well.
You're still liking aficionado, aren't you?
I love it. I love it.
It's a nice word.
It is.
I like saying it.
It makes, all this time spent, sitting in my room alone watching horror movies, it feels a bit more
Yeah,
official.
now you got a title. Now you got a title for
I
it.
didn't used to go to uni
Yeah.
or anything like that.
It's like when you have it's like if you have any kind of mental illness. Like it's like putting a name on it. Yeah, now I know what I have.
I ain't crazy.
Yeah, exactly. or at least you know how crazy you are.
Oh yeah, I've got a
Yeah.
certain degree now.
Yeah,
I know.
exactly. You know exactly where the point hits. So what are we covering today, man? We just hit another 1953 classic.
And yeah, well, it's part 2 of our. Even though we're in part 2, I could not think of a title for this special. Horror Origin? I'll just call it Horror Origin.
Yeah.
This might be like continuous.
Origin of tropes.
Yeah, there we go. Fuck, I should have asked you earlier.
I only just came up with that then. There you go. Look, I must be some kind of genius, some kind of idiot savant.
So, but anyway, we've been covering, as of the first episode, we covered It Came From Outer Space.
Yeah.
And to continue with that theme of first, we've got a big first. This is a very important film.
Yeah.
The Beast from 20,000 Fathoms. Oh boy.
It was a good one. I liked it. Directed by Ray Harryhausen.
Not directed. That's the
Is
thing.
it's not directed by him?
No, I'll go. That's the thing. Everyone, when it's a Ray Harryhausen picture, everyone forgets who the director was.
Ah, okay.
The director was actually Eugene Laurie.
Okay.
And written by Lou Morheim and Fred. Oh, that's a name. Is it a Freeburger?
Freeburger.
Oh,
Freeburger.
Freeburger.
It is a Freeburger.
But in any of these, of the multiple, I think he made about, I want to say I'm wrong, but it's probably about 17 movies.
Okay.
Something like that.
All right.
It's a Ray Harryhausen film.
Okay.
Like, it wasn't billed on the posters or anything like that, but you just knew it was
So
Ray
it's
Harryhausen.
almost like the film is like created by him, but written and directed by other people, and
Pretty
but
much.
it's kind of his baby.
His effects hold the film together, and since he was doing it by himself, all that, he had so much control. The movie would have fell apart if they didn't listen to him.
Okay.
Let him do his thing.
Okay. All right. So kind of a bit of a mad scientist behind the scenes, but not the
Definitely.
not the top billed dude kind of thing.
He was
All
a
right.
quiet, content man, happy to. He just wanted to make dinosaurs move. He just
Okay,
wanted
yeah.
to play with dinosaurs.
Yeah. All right.
And he got to do that in the end.
Yeah. Yeah. So tell us why it's so important.
Well, this movie, once I've found out about this movie a long time ago in research, and just it blew my mind. It predates. Everyone thinks Godzilla, or Gojira, as the original film was called, was the first giant lizard monster movie, but this predates it by a year.
Ah. Okay.
So and it beats the original 10 times because it's actual stop motion effects, rather than with Godzilla films, they're a man in a suit.
Yes. Yeah. That's true.
And it just adds that much more to it.
Yeah.
A bit more charm when it's actually someone's hands have touched each little thing and
Yeah.
made it move. And and it was so many firsts. This is the first film. It was actually him and Ray Bradbury were very close friends. They actually grew up together.
Yeah.
And drifted apart. And Harryhausen working on different projects. Found out they were working on a film, and found out that they said, and a young writer named Ray Bradbury it's based on one of his stories. And I'm like, that works well.
I know that guy.
Yeah, I know that guy. I know that Ray. And the two Rays came together, and
To form Ray Ray.
oh my god, I don't even Ray. And who better to cover the first Ray Bradbury story movie than
His old
best
mate.
friend, Ray
Yeah.
Harryhausen.
Yeah.
And that started a partnership that lasted. They were close friends to the end. They were recently on the special features after you left. After we watched it, I watched a bunch of them, and it wasn't really much in the making of, but there was this really nice 10-minute video of them sitting down in 2005.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They were in their 70s, 80s, and all that. And the amount of love for each other was beautiful.
Yeah.
And they're just joking about the old days of sneaking into cinemas and tricking the projectionist into playing the movie again, and, and how they both had this fascination with dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And sci-fi, and yeah. They're just a pair of kids.
Do you have any idea what Harryhausen thought of Jurassic Park?
Ooh, I know he liked it. He's been on the record. He does not like CGI while he was still alive, and but for what they did, very happy. Yeah, I think he enjoyed it.
Cool.
There was a lot of people he knew, like Phil Tippett, and I think
Yeah, all right, yeah.
oh, there's somebody else who he would have worked with, because most people who worked in effects came from a love of Harryhausen.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. All right, well, let's go through. Oh, I guess it's pretty obvious what the synopsis of this is.
Yeah, it's not the hardest one.
Yep, giant lizard attack city.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Tick.
But at the same time, in comparison to It Came From Outer Space, which is all very surface level and like it wasn't subtle at all with what it was trying to do. With this, the writing is a lot more. There's a lot more to it. And being adapted from a book too, it makes a lot of sense.
Actually, it was a short story in the called The Foghorn. It was like a Saturday Evening Post or something like that.
Yeah,
it was called.
That's our phones going off all the time. How unprofessional are we?
We're so busy.
So popular.
Yeah, and I believe Bradbury had a bit to do, because the funny story was that he was working as kind of like a freelance writer in the studio and stuff like that, and they got word that they're making a film called The Beef in 20,000 Fathoms, and he's reading the script.
Sorry, just for a second then. I thought you said The Beef.
The Beef from 20... Oh, man, be a bit off.
Where's the beef? 20,000 Fathoms. That's where's the beef. Sorry, yeah, so he heard they were making this.
You heard they were making... The guy came up to him and said, would you like to work on this film? Blah, 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 blah. And he turned to him and like, not to be that guy, but this actually sounds a lot like my short story that was in the Saturday Evening Post.
Yeah.
And the bloke just stood up, like, disappeared, and next day he got a letter saying, here's an offer to buy the story off you and all that sort of stuff. So he's like, oh, I caught you guys out.
Yeah.
And so from then on, they kind of had to have him.
And it was just by happenstance as well.
Yeah, and he wasn't being nasty about it.
Yeah.
Like that. Like, guys, this sounds like my giant lizard.
Yeah, and then he's like, and then so the guy's like, you got me. Here's the offer.
Yeah.
Here's the offer. I was hoping I'd be able to get it past you, but I let that bit slip, and you got me. You got me. Here you go, mate. You got me.
Nerd.
You got me. All right, here you go. Here's the rights to your story. Like, oh man, that's great. That's an awesome story. Yeah, like that's what it sounds like. The making of this is just a lot of happenstance and a lot of nice little things happening for them.
It was very low budget. I can't remember what the actual budget. Like, I think it was something like 200,000. So that might be
Adjust for inflation. Who knows?
still not a lot.
No idea
today.
Yeah.
They didn't spend 100 million on this movie.
Yeah, of course.
So it was very much the it was just everyone just getting together and just trying to get this thing to happen.
Yeah.
A lot of people wanted to make the story, wanted to make it as film, and they had Harryhausen, who just was like, "Yep." He showed them. He made a lot of B-reels and like stuff like that, like a portfolio of stop motion and dinosaurs, and they're like, "Yep, you're in charge." And especially coming from, this is his first credited solo film. But he actually worked on Mighty Joe Young from 1949 or not 48, and that was kind of a remake of King Kong.
Yeah, okay.
And it was the special effects. The head of special effects was Willis O'Brien, who created King Kong.
Yeah.
And Harryhausen worked underneath him. But
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I just looked down at my notes. We'll get to it soon. But I just looked down at my notes and I just started laughing because I just remembered something. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry for that. All right, we'll get there.
But sizzle.
Yeah. Forward sizzle.
Forward sizzle in the episode.
Yeah, in the episode itself. It's coming.
What cutting edge, man. So when Willis O'Brien was given Mighty Joe Young, he was near the end of retirement. He was kind of over it, and he was more caught up in the technical side of things, like getting things passed, getting the budget for it, all that sort of stuff. So he handed pretty much majority of the animation to Harryhausen. So even though it's not his first solo film, that's still his first film was Mighty Joe Young.
Yeah, okay.
So he kind of came out the gate swinging.
Yeah. No, that's pretty good CV to have.
Like, sorry, I'm just gonna keep gushing a little bit about Harryhausen, but he did all the special effects to every single one of his movies by himself.
Yeah,
Except
okay.
for his final film, Clash of the Titans, where he needed help with one scene.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty incredible.
So
It's pretty insane.
Fuck, and he would lock himself in a room and just do it.
Yeah.
Like he'd spend.
So he's literally the mad professor.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Wow, that's awesome. What a legend.
How many people can say that they've done that? Like,
Yeah. Well, like, I mean, I've heard you start speaking about Harryhausen before, and then I was like, leave it, because I kind of want to get a bit of a schooling on it on the pod.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, no, that's awesome. And I mean, back to what I was saying before about just the writing, like the script is so much more interesting than the last one. Like, so with it being an adaptation, it makes a lot more sense. Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't, obviously adapting something, from a short story as opposed to a Cave from Outer Space that was completely written for the screen kind of thing. So
Yeah, definitely. Because in The Beast Between 1,000 Fathoms, in the story, the story was the beast awakening after hearing a foghorn from a
Yeah.
lighthouse, and it's only the scene where the Rhedosaurus comes up and attacks the lighthouse. So
Yeah.
the scene in the movie, that's all that story was.
yeah,
So
okay.
they then just based that from the Rhedosaurus awakening and went from there.
Yeah, and so the Rhedosaurus awoken from a nuclear bomb, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Nuclear test.
So it's kind of like we'll set up what's happening, kind of like. So there was a nuclear test out in the Arctic, and the shock of it woke up the Rhedosaurus, which is a giant, it's a carnivorous
Yeah.
dinosaur, which has been frozen in the ice for 100 million years.
Yes.
And it now wakes up, and it's really clever. I was not expecting, because you always think the monster movie, it always ends in New York.
Yes. Yeah.
But the reasoning for it was following the Arctic currents.
Yeah. Like, so they actually had a
Genuine scientific reason
Yeah,
for it.
yeah,
And why
exactly.
the attacks happened on shore was because that's where the current ended up.
yeah, and there was and it was in New York where there was some kind of underground kind of
Yeah, kind of like an underground train.
cave system
Yeah.
kind of thing, and that's kind of where his species were originally from.
Yeah, they said that's the only place that fossils of the Rhedosaurus have ever been found.
That's
in
right.
that
Yeah,
valley.
it was in that trench. Yeah. Which was fascinating, and I love the fact that, and this was another trope that I thought about when in between watching it and recording. Another trope is not being able to just literally just kill the monster with just heavy firepower, like, because the radiation could like kill everybody.
Yeah,
So that was a really
fantastic.
there we go, another one of the first like tropes where it's like, no, we can't just blow him up normally.
Yeah, it wasn't even it was the radiation, and it was it carried a ancient disease with it.
Yeah, because it had so much ancient bacteria and things like that.
Yeah,
It was
it's
just
been dormant for
Yeah.
100 million years, and so there is a scene where they attack it with huge cannon fire and all
Yeah.
that sort of stuff, and they fuck it up and it's bleeding.
and they're pretty much following the trail of blood
Yeah.
to try and track it down, which is kind of silly with it being such a huge monster.
Yeah, you think they wouldn't be doing it so slowly. You think they'd kind of be like up.
Yeah,
It's like it's gigantic puddles of blood, like. But yeah, soldiers start dropping off one by one.
Just from like radiation kind of sickness, or like
they
just
get
bacteria.
they get
Yeah.
the bacteria and just all the bad shit from it. And yeah, I did not expect that.
Yeah, well, like,
Really cool.
a lot of my reference points are from like late '90s, early 2000s movies. So it's like an evolution when they bomb the thing, and it makes it just expand.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit, we fucked up.
Yeah.
Same kind of thing, same kind of trope.
I always love that the solution in that movie was shoving shampoo up its butt.
Yes, yeah, man, I actually adore that movie.
Me too.
Yeah, it was one of those ones that I really grew up loving.
I'm kind of like,
A couple of jump scares in it that really still get me.
is there?
Well, I haven't seen it in years. Yeah, there's a couple,
Yeah.
and it's the same monster both times as well. It's the same alien. When it's in like the pool filter and goes like "Rah!" like at the thing, and then the same monster, it's obviously a lot bigger, jumps out of the lake in the golf course while the guy's washing his hands. Yeah,
Oh, fuck, I gotta
two
watch-
jump scares
I gotta watch
that
Evolution.
always get me. We should do it for the pod.
Yeah, why the fuck not?
Do it for the pod.
For the pod, bro.
Yeah, okay. We'll do some shitty early 2000s like
boys.
horror comedies. Evolution for the boys. Evolution for the boys. Jesus Christ, I can't believe I just said that. Anyway, It's so obviously they can't kill it with regular firepower because otherwise it's going to infect the whole city. So it's already got a wound from where it's blood, and then they get they get like an
isotope.
Yeah, an isotope. That's exactly
the only
it.
one in the world.
Yes.
To the doctor.
Yes. And they get a crack shot.
Oh, fucking Lee Van Cleef to the rescue.
There you go.
Oh, I was so happy. Like, I didn't do I researched Ray Harryhausen. That was about it for this movie. So I didn't even look at the cast or anything like that.
Yeah, you just saw him in the credits, and you're like, "What?"
Yeah.
And then and then we completely forgot about him. And then when he turned up, you're like, "Fuck, there he is!"
And like he played, the usual, because he was the bad in The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly,
Yeah.
and so many other great westerns. And just the way he walked up was like, "We need a crack shot." And he's like, "What do you need me to shoot?"
Yeah, and you're just like, "Yeah, fuck yeah, Lee Van Cleef, sick."
He's missing a mustache though. I don't know.
Oh, that kind of bothered you a bit, didn't it? Yeah.
But, it's early stuff. It's all good.
Yeah, it's fair enough. It's fair enough.
But yeah, so that was a really pleasant surprise to see Lee Van Cleef, and he gets it one shot straight in there on top of a collapsing roller coaster.
Yep.
I don't think he even sweated.
Nah.
I think he was thinking about what to have for dinner.
Nah. Well, and that was another thing that I noticed that was similar to last week's, which is probably one of the only similarities. Was as soon as the monster was dead, done. Movie over.
Yeah.
See you later. Like,
I love that about these kind of
Yeah.
movies. It's just done because sometimes it's like with a sequel or something like that. You think, oh, why didn't this movie get a sequel? And it's like, if in the movie everyone like survives and everything's fine, what the fuck is the sequel going to be?
Yeah,
about?
yeah.
Just living normally.
yeah,
So
just having flashbacks to the event. Yeah.
You don't want.
It's just a movie about PTSD. Like, it's really depressing, actually.
Yeah, you could probably apply that to a lot of movies.
Yeah. Just really depressing sequels. Just them dealing with it.
Yeah, but like with these movies, you don't want to be bogged down with explanation. Like I think the Beast Between 1,000 Fathoms did the explanation really well. Kind of like drip fed it a little bit.
Except one thing I will say: the intro, the narration in the intro while they were setting off the nuclear test. It sounded like it was a documentary, and because there was so much stock footage in it, it felt like a documentary at the start.
Yeah, I think they were going for quite a serious tone, and they just dropped it.
Yeah.
And I agree. That was probably the only real issue I had, because I quite liked the serious tone. Like, oh, this is gonna be quite a scientific, take on it, very serious. And then it wasn't. Okay, still good.
But there was
the Rhedosaurus isn't real.
Yeah.
There's science for it.
Yeah, there was there wasn't any unnecessary explanation either.
No.
Yeah, it was just at the beginning, the introduction was just very strange. But one thing I do want to talk about is the we're nearly there. We're nearly at the thing I pissed myself at. But the credits, it looked like Misfits font.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah,
it just like as soon as I saw it, it kind of felt comfortable and like familiar. Yeah, it was really nice. That's just a quick little aside there about the credits, about the font. But okay,
right.
so.
We're in the.
Oh man, I think I've sizzled it too much now.
You got to hear it, I guess.
Yeah.
We'll try and find a clip of it somewhere and put it in. But so this is just after the atomic bomb is gone, and a couple of scientists go to check it out. Fucking.
Oh God.
They're out searching, and they're in the snow, and it's starting to blizzard, right?
Yeah.
One of them hears. The pair of them both hear noises. They do the usual common movie mistake. They split up.
Yep.
To just eternal whiteness.
Yeah, just because they had to get it done quicker because the blizzard was on its way. Yeah.
And one of them, he's hearing the noises, and he's kind of like on a ridge, sort of like there's a fall below him. And he turns, and there's the Rhedosaurus, and it scares the living piss out of him. He falls back.
Well, it wasn't even that. It was like a ha. Like it was so.
It was like a third of a Wilhelm scream.
Yeah. It was so quick, and then you just see him like fall and just go. Splat.
It looked like they were dropping, like if there's an explosion in Thunderbirds and like a puppet flies across.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it looked like.
Oh my God! But it was just like because like you see the Rhedosaurus and and all of his roaring and then you just see you hear his scream and then everything goes silent, just like thump. just thump. Like the fall wasn't very far either,
And
but
the
it
fact
just
that he broke his leg from it, like,
Yeah,
I call bullshit.
yeah.
You landed on your coccyx.
Yeah.
You're a bit winded, mate.
yeah.
You
And
landed
it-
on snow.
Yeah, exactly. And then I couldn't for the life of me remember his name, so I just called him Fuck Legs.
Fuck legs.
Yeah, Fuck Legs.
What a title to... His grandkids watch it one day and they just find out we're talking about it. His name's Fuck Legs.
Oh, Fuck Legs.
Look at him, can't even stand.
Oh, Fuck
Look
Legs.
at how he falls. Who falls backwards?
So our I guess our hero,
Hmm.
what was his name? It was
Oh, hang on.
Professor Nesbitt. I didn't catch his first name, but Professor Nesbitt, I think.
Professor Tom Nesbitt.
There we go. Yeah, the guy with the weird accent that we couldn't put out.
Oh, he's real.
Put our
the
finger
actor's
in.
name is Paul Hubschmid. Maybe that's
Ah,
why.
Hubschmidt.
He did
Okay,
sound
so
a bit European.
yeah. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah,
Did you?
I wasn't sure. I thought he might have been South African or something. Yeah, I
it's
couldn't tell.
definitely
It
a
was
little
really
bit in
hard.
there. Did you like him?
Shades of him.
Thank you. Yeah.
He kind of put me off a little bit in some
It
points.
was almost creepy at times.
Yeah.
Like, the way he reacted to things was kind of like that's how a madman hitting on someone would react to things. Like,
Yeah, it
you know,
was.
that creepy guy at the barfly at the pub who just doesn't quite realize that he's a barfly hitting on a 20-year-old.
Yeah, and he doesn't realize that his eyes are wandering, and it's like it's very obvious to everybody else that you're ogling, man. Like,
And-
relax.
And if you're trying to convince someone you're not crazy, don't rush into the office screaming about dinosaurs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Make a report. Like, make some evidence.
Yeah.
Talk to them properly. That's the one thing in these movies. Like, just by screaming, you gotta believe me.
Yeah.
No one's gonna fucking
No,
believe you.
exactly.
Tell you to go away.
Yeah. Well, I just want to back up a little bit just before he runs into the professor's office when he's in hospital and he's recovering.
Yeah. Ugh.
And he's trying to tell them, he's like, oh well, you know, you could have hit your head. It could be just delirium. And he's like, no, I saw it. And then the doctor says it could have been anything, the wind. Anything. Like, he gave one example for anything. Like, it could have been anything. The wind, anything.
See? The wind could have been a giant monster.
Yeah,
That's probably the wind.
exactly. Yeah, it's just wind.
Haven't
Yeah,
you before?
I can't really think of anything else.
Godzilla?
Yeah,
Always.
yeah. Come on, everybody's done that at least once in their life. It's a bit of a rite of passage around here.
Always hit somebody. Oh, I thought it was a light.
All right, and then I think it was while he's in the office as well.
Hmm.
In the hospital as well, where he somebody turns off the radio, and it's literally just a Virginia Gold cigarette ad.
Oh, that was
It was a
beautiful.
literal ad.
He's got to
like-
stop smoking that stuff and hit a Virginia Gold.
Yeah, and then somebody just turns the radio off. Like, and it was just like, see, there we go. That probably one of the first
Yeah, I was about to say.
noticeable moments of product placement.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Like, just literally chucking a radio ad in the movie.
Yeah, and it's like not even like it's in passing by. Like, I was checking out a Stallone flick the other day called Cobra.
Mhm.
Man, I thought that was from the cover. I thought it was gonna be so much better, but it ain't. It's not.
Oh
that great.
no, you can't imagine anything good.
Every other fight is in a convenience store. So there's product placement everywhere. Fuck.
Oh my god.
So shameless.
When did that come out? Like mid-90s?
Oh, earlier than that. I don't think it was a Canon film, but I think it was. Or it was a Roger Corman film. So like low budget, trying to like,
Okay.
yeah. He was trying to make like he had Rambo. Rambo as a franchise was successful, and same with what's the other one? Rocky. He was trying to make another one.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, one of my it's probably like my last on my list for favorite moments. But when the Rhedosaurus actually does make it to New York, and everybody's running and screaming and trying to get out of the way, and there's just this random blind guy who just gets knocked over.
Yeah,
and
he cops it bad.
Yeah, he comes it bad.
I'm certain he's dead.
Yeah, he would have gotten stampeded and
He
crushed.
was already like people were tripping over him and shit.
Yeah. But it was just so random, just this, like, it's just cutting, like, to all these different shots of people just running, and then it just hangs on this blind guy for a little bit too long, and then you just see him fucking just hit the deck, and everybody just, and that's a funny thing, like, nobody's actually running in the same direction, so it's like, they're, like, because they're literally running in every single direction, so there are people who are actually running towards the
Yeah,
Rhedosaurus.
everyone's just like, Are we running? What are we running?
What are we running from? Where are we going? All right, cool. I've just got to run to, I
Yeah,
guess.
it's like protesting today. Like it's just like, oh, you guys. Yeah, I'm free.
Yeah, I got nothing on.
Yeah, I got nothing to do. Let's go for a run. Speaking of the people running from traffic and all that sort of stuff,
Yeah.
the first movie to do that. First movie to have when the monster emerges, everyone stops in traffic and gets out and runs.
Yeah.
Fuck. This movie just keeps
delivering.
fucking hell.
Yeah, delivering on the tropes. Delivering on the tropes.
But I really want to talk about that. We've barely talked about the monster. Like sorry, I keep calling it a monster. It's a fucking dinosaur.
Yeah.
There's probably my favorite scenes of it walking through the city and all that. It just like when he emerges and he hits the trolley, like the train cars,
yes,
and just crushes it, and it crumples around it, and
it looks so good.
pats it a bit, like knocks it about.
And that's right. And as it's like walking over it, it like gets kind of caught in its tail and moves with it, and moves with the Rhedosaurus.
Harryhausen addressed that in that video I watched.
Oh, really?
Because he designed it from, he always liked T-Rex, thought the T-Rex face head was perfect for it, just extended the, like, it was is it Bronchiosaurus, the really long-headed one, the neck one?
Brachiosaurus.
Brachiosaurus, he mixed
or a Brontosaurus. Yeah.
He mixed those two together and made that. And recently, at that time, it was found that dinosaurs would have had their tails raised. And he said, I never liked it. I don't care how much science you throw at me. Dinosaurs drag their tails.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why. And just the moments when it's the attention to detail he went to, where like it's walking through the city and it's close up of its face and the shadows of the buildings are hitting it. So it's coming in and out of shadows.
Yep.
And there's a scene where it eats a cop. Like a live
that's
action
right. Yeah.
cop. Fuck, you think you'd learn after emptying your first clip but to no effect that reloading in front of it and then trying to shoot is going to do something?
Yeah.
Nope, you become dinosaur food.
Yeah. But I do like the realism of him like literally emptying his six-shooter and then being like, okay, got to reload.
Yeah.
Like, but he's not going to take any cover.
But he didn't take a lot. He wasn't like, move with some fucking meaning, man. Like,
Yeah,
come on,
with
speed
some
up.
urgency.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was no urgency whatsoever. It was like,
No.
oh, well, I guess I better do this.
Time for a Virginia Gold.
Yeah. Yeah, I might just light a smoke in between reloading.
I'm just going to lie down for a little bit.
Yeah.
Sorry, you go on.
No, that's all right.
Oh, yeah, and just there was so many more awesome scenes of it crushing cars and knocking them about and stuff like that. And there's even a scene where, like, it flips around and uses its tail to, like, swat some fire away from them.
Yeah.
And when there's too much, they're shooting at it too much, it just walks through a building.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
that was so just like, yep,
Yeah,
through
straight
here,
through.
and then collapses on all these hobos and shit like
That's
that.
right. Yeah, they were literally just hobo. Yeah.
What's going on? Ah!
Yeah. Just got crushed.
There was another amazing the lighthouse scene.
Oh, the lighthouse scene.
That was outstanding.
Oh, yeah. Like, especially after it destroyed the lighthouse, you could still see, like, the spiral staircase just, like,
twisted
and just poking out the side.
yeah,
kind of
like
thing.
it collapsed on its side.
Yeah, and, like, all the brickwork just fell away around it.
Crumpled.
So, yeah, just this twisted, gnarled bit of metal.
My favorite one's when it's totally in it and it hasn't quite tipped yet, but then the light just flickers and dies.
Yes.
Oh,
that was
what a fucking touch.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Yeah, the attention to detail just makes me want to, like, fuck, I've got to step my fucking game up. If I'm going to do something like that, I've got to...
If only. Fuck. So good.
And, well, the ending as well with the... There's one thing I didn't get. So the Rhedosaurus's motivation throughout this whole film is that it's awoken, it's hungry, it needs to feed. So when it goes back to its old feeding grounds of New York. Why the fuck did it find the need to go and hang out in the abandoned, like Coney Island or whatever it was?
Yeah.
It's hanging out in the abandoned roller coaster.
Yeah, it was weird, wasn't
There's
it?
no food there, just wood. Obviously, your diet is not based on wood. You seem to eat a lot of metal and wood.
Yeah. You're like crushing it. You're a very pissed off dinosaur.
It's like you're eating bread. It's not going to do anything for you.
Yeah. Well, maybe he's just catching up on lost destruction time. You know, so it's like, might just fuck some people up before I go.
Yeah, got nothing else to do, eh? It's still a cool scene, but I know why it's, cinema.
It has to do something.
Yeah, and it has to be, a big moment. It has to be like what a contrast of a monster, a dinosaur in a roller coaster.
Yeah.
But just a good movie.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. I liked it a lot more than it came from outer space.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, definitely.
I feel like this movie kind of, even though it is obviously of its time, it isn't anywhere as near of its time as it came from outer space is. Does that make sense?
That makes a lot of sense. Like, even though it is black and white and it's still stop motion and all that.
And the guy who the guy who played the main character, you can tell with his acting and stuff, that's very much of its time. But yeah, I feel like the story and the writing of this can kind of continue. Like, I mean, like it can stand up on its own merit.
Definitely.
Still now today,
Like,
whereas it came from outer space, not so much.
Yeah, kind of. It came from outer space is just kind of like a tick off the list kind of movie. Like, you just kind of, all right, that's where that trope came from.
Yeah.
But apart from that, it doesn't do anything really amazing.
Yeah.
Because it was 1953.
Yeah, it's essential viewing, but not necessarily entertaining.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, it's good to watch and then it's done.
Yeah.
But this one, I could happily watch it again, like with mates and stuff.
Yeah, I could watch this again.
It's a fun movie, and as you're saying, it is a bit more ahead of its time.
Yeah.
Like, it did so many firsts.
Yeah.
How did your entire movie is so original?
Yeah.
It's kind of weird to think of. People always say there's no original movies anymore, but at times it's true, because we're now in the. Oh God, I can't remember. Someone said this. It was so profound. I'm gonna butcher it, but like, when cinema started, that's the only true time that there was original things, and now it's the fans of cinema are making things.
Culture.
The fans are making things. That's what,
and referencing things all the time, and
that's why
that's what Damon Albarn from Blur said in the 90s.
Yeah,
that nothing's new anymore, and like everything's a pastiche now.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Well, that's what he described Blur's music as being, like a pastiche of all the best things that have already come.
When you look at the state of video games now, like everything is merging together. Like you get free games like RPGs, and it's Fallout 4 is a good example. You can build things like Minecraft and shit like that, and you've got RPG, then you've got it's just they're mixing all things together. And same with film, you're getting zombie westerns and shit like that. Like
just mashups now.
Yeah, it's interesting to see where it came from.
Yeah, that's true.
But is there anything else we really need to? I think we just about covered everything.
I think I've touched on everything that I can.
Well, yeah, in that case.
Yeah, should we wrap it up there?
Yeah, I want to maybe just do a couple of. This one I've got a couple of recommendations off the top of my head.
Beautiful.
Well, the entire back catalogue of Ray Harryhausen. Just watch that. Like, up next is It Came From Beneath the Sea. Giant octopus taking San Francisco. Yeah. That's always good. And then you got The Animal World was a dinosaur documentary he made. That's the movie he actually wanted to make. But there's heaps of them. 20 Miles to Earth, Earth versus the Flying Saucers. He did the Sinbad series. Oh, I love the name of this one, The Valley of Guanji.
Oh, yeah.
It's a bunch of cowboys discovering a dinosaur in a valley and rustling the dinosaur and shit like that.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, there's a bunch of them.
Great.
So many good films there. But I love this kind of a disaster film, horror disaster, when it's taken from the scientists that are doing the job. They're the ones, informing people and doing the right decisions and stuff like that and solving the problem. A good one that's similar to this, that does it without any effects whatsoever, is The Day the Earth Caught Fire, 1967 or something like that. And it's both America and Russia set off nuclear bombs test at the same time. Yeah. And it causes the Earth to go off its orbit and starts to go towards the sun. And it's all from the perspective of a journalist discovering it, trying to break the story and trying to solve the issue, and it's all in like his apartment, his girlfriend's apartment, and some shots on the street, but mostly in the newspaper, the main office and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. And it's crazy you're hearing about all these awful things, and whole countries are catching on fire and shit like that, but all you're seeing is these sweaty journalists working on it. Yeah, outstanding.
So a bit like Pontypool.
A little bit, yeah. Cool. You're just solving this mystery from a scientific perspective. Yeah. And another two, just off the top of my head, is the Quartermass. Oh, there's about 4 of them. The Quartermass film series. These are a bunch of 60s Hammer horror ones.
Yep.
And easily my favorite films. Easily. Like, Quatermass in the Pit is the best sci-fi movie in my eyes. Like, bit excited for that one.
For those of you at home
Oh.
who can't listen, Chris just simulated masturbation.
What can I say?
Yeah.
I like me some aliens and shit. But yeah, apart from that, just watch horror.
Beautiful. Awesome. Well, we'll leave it there for this week. What do we got next time, man?
Oh, we're moving up a couple of decades, getting some scares and shit this time.
Oh.
No, we're not.
Oh.
It's not inside. You're not gonna vomit. You're not gonna have a panic attack. Is this what year did it come out? I want to say 88. I might be wrong. Shit. I was right.
Oh, nice. Good
1988. Scarecrows.
effort. Oh, cool.
This is a really fun movie.
I'm excited
Really
about
good.
this one.
This is a slasher. We haven't really covered any slashers except we started with the best in my eyes, so that kind of fucked things up a little bit.
Yeah.
But Scarecrow. This is a really fun slasher about a group of criminals whose plane crash after the big score, and they end up in this farmhouse with overgrown hedges and shit like that, and freaky scarecrows.
Cool.
And
All right.
very
Well,
good shit.
Well,
Good shit.
We'll be having that one next week for you guys. Scarecrow from 88. But thank you to 20,000, the creature from 20,000 Fathoms.
The Beast, my friend. The Beast.
Oh, the Beast. See, I keep doing it.
Me too.
I keep doing it.
I keep calling it
That's why I made sure that you said it at the start, because I keep tripping over it.
I keep going to call it either like the Beast from 50,000 Fathoms or the
Yeah.
Creature from 20,000. I
Yeah.
don't know why I keep doing that.
Thank you for showing me that, man, because I really enjoyed that one.
I'm glad you
That was
enjoyed
a
it,
damn
man.
Good one. Damn good one. Yeah. So until next week, thank you to everybody for listening. Thank you to James for doing all that.
Oh, as always, man.
Oh, man.
Such a good job.
The editing is just getting crazier and crazier. It's beautiful. Thank you to James. He's the best. Thank you to our resident librarian, Matthew Frost. He's our official librarian now.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
Our official librarian. So we're going to get Matty involved very soon.
I got to find some good ones for him.
yeah.
There's got to be like a novel adaptation of Night of the Creeps or something.
We'll send him the list of what's coming up and see what he's got. And we'll go from there. So thanks everybody for listening. Thanks again to Gay Paris for the theme song. James is probably going to make us a new theme song soon too.
Hopefully that'd be
It's
cool.
exciting. Yeah, we can have
Theremin.
our own theme song.
There better be fucking theremin.
A
Bit of synth. Theremin and synth, I'm happy.
Yeah, beautiful. All right, well, until next week, horror fans.
I like that. Horror was trying to get out of your
it's
body
like,
then. Oh.
Yeah, it's like, until next week, horror fans.
Oh, man.
Nice little chuckle down.
Yeah.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. See you next week.
See you next week. Rest in horror, everybody.